The mind never truly sleeps. Even in silence, it talks. Even in darkness, it remembers. Even when the world pauses, the mind keeps running. Ethan sat alone in his small apartment in London, staring at the ceiling as rain tapped gently against the window. The city outside was alive, cars passing, lights blinking, people moving, but inside his head, it was louder than the streets below. Deadlines, expectations, failures, regrets. Every thought crashed into the next like waves during a storm. He had done everything right. Good education, decent job, a life that looked successful from the outside. But inside, his mind felt overcrowded, like a room filled with voices all shouting at once. You're falling behind. You should be doing more. Others are winning while you're stuck. Ethan closed his eyes, hoping for peace. Instead, the noise grew stronger. His phone buzzed on the table. Another notification. Another reminder that the world never stops demanding more. He picked it up, scrolled mindlessly, and sighed. Everyone looked happy online. Everyone looked confident. Everyone seemed ahead. He felt empty, but not peaceful empty. A heavy empty. A tired empty. That night, sleep refused to come. Ethan tossed and turned, his mind replaying moments he wished he could erase, words he should have said, chances he didn't take, dreams he abandoned because they felt too risky. At 3:17 a.m., he sat up, rubbing his face. Why can't my mind just shut up? He whispered. The next morning, exhausted and frustrated, Ethan skipped work and walked aimlessly through the city. He crossed busy streets, past cafes full of laughter, and finally reached a quiet park hidden between tall buildings. There, on a wooden bench beneath a large tree, sat an old man feeding pigeons. The man looked calm. Not fake calm, real calm. Ethan watched him for a moment, jealous of that stillness. You look tired, the old man said without turning. Ethan blinked. I didn't say anything. The man smiled gently. Your mind did. Something about that sentence hit deep. Ethan sat beside him. My thoughts won't stop, no matter what I do. The old man tossed another handful of seeds. That's because you keep listening to them. Ethan frowned. How do you stop? The man finally turned and looked at him. You don't stop the mind, he said. You empty it. Those words lingered in the air like a riddle. Empty your mind, the man continued, and you'll hear something far more powerful than noise. What? Ethan asked. The man smiled. Clarity. The old man introduced himself as Arthur. They met again the next day, and the next. Arthur never lectured. He never rushed. He simply talked slowly, intentionally, as if every word mattered. One afternoon, Arthur invited Ethan to a small tea shop near the river. They sat across from each other at a wooden table. Arthur poured tea into Ethan's cup, and he kept pouring. The tea spilled over the edge, dripping onto the table. Stop, Ethan said. It's full. Arthur smiled. Exactly. He pointed to the overflowing cup. This is your mind. Ethan stared at it. You keep adding worries, comparisons, fears, expectations, Arthur continued, and you wonder why nothing new fits. So what do I do? Ethan asked. Arthur gently slid the cup toward him. Empty it. But how? Arthur leaned back. First, you must understand that not every thought deserves your attention. Ethan had never considered that before. Arthur explained how the mind creates noise to protect us but often ends up imprisoning us instead. You are not your thoughts, Arthur said. You are the observer of them. That sentence shook something inside Ethan. Arthur taught him a simple exercise. Close your eyes, he said, and imagine your thoughts as clouds. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just let them pass. At first, Ethan struggled. Thoughts came faster, louder, but Arthur's voice grounded him. Don't judge, Arthur said softly. Just watch. Minutes passed. For the first time in years, Ethan felt a small gap between thoughts. A breath. A pause. When he opened his eyes, the world looked sharper, brighter. That silence, Arthur said, is your power. Ethan smiled faintly. It feels light. Arthur nodded. That's what happens when you empty your mind of what doesn't serve you. Days turned into weeks. Ethan practiced emptying his mind not perfectly, but consistently. He learned to sit with silence. He learned to stop reacting to every thought. And slowly, something changed. The pressure in his chest softened. His breathing deepened. His sleep improved. Arthur took him to the river one morning. "Today," Arthur said, "you'll let go." He handed Ethan a small stone. "Think of a thought that's been holding you back." Ethan closed his eyes. Failure. He threw the stone into the water. Another stone. Fear. Another. Comparison. With each splash, Ethan felt lighter. "You don't need to carry everything," Arthur said. "Some things are meant to be released." Ethan realized how much energy he had wasted holding on to thoughts that no longer mattered. Emptying his mind didn't make him weak. It made him free. Arthur didn't show up. Ethan waited and waited. Days passed. Arthur never returned. But Ethan didn't feel lost. He felt prepared. He sat alone in the park, eyes closed, breathing deeply. The city noise faded. Inside, there was space. In that space, ideas emerged. Clarity formed. Confidence grew. Ethan understood the lesson. Empty your mind not of dreams, but of noise. Not of ambition, but of fear. Stillness was not emptiness. It was strength. Months later, Ethan stood on a bridge overlooking the city. The same city, but a different mind. He still had goals. He still had challenges. But now, his mind was clear. He smiled, because when you empty your mind of noise, you make room for purpose. And that changes everything. If this story helped you find even a moment of peace, like this video, subscribe to the channel. And remember, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is empty your mind.